That's another exclusive, only from DJ Michael B.
Hello there, this is Benny Hester, and I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas, and I hope that this season that you're entering into, as crazy as it might be for you, I hope it's going to be a great Christmas for you this year. I have a new album coming out soon, and I want to take some time to tell you about it right now. It's called Through the Window, and it's one of the most fun projects I've ever done. It's one of the most exciting albums I've ever been a part of. I had an album last year called Benny From Here, and for me, I started something new in my life. I went back to some very basic things, and I just let go. I created some music that went back to my roots musically. It was very exciting. In this new album, Through the Window, I took that a step further, and I really tried some things I've never tried before. We gathered together some of the finest musicians that I've ever worked with to put it together. We had a great deal of fun as we put this album together. There's a bit of nonsense on it. There are some things that are serious, and in all of this, I think there's a message that comes through. It's not an introspective one. It's not talking about my life and how you can open up a window and peek inside, but it's talking about how each one of us can open up a window and let God look inside, and how God can work in us. We find ourselves in some pretty interesting situations, and I think music can be a big part of making ourselves vulnerable. As we hear another person express their thoughts, we can open up ourselves to God and say, God, yeah, that's how I feel too, and today things aren't going so great, so I want you to look inside of me, and I'm going to let you in. I've always been fascinated with the aspect of our personalities, the rough side of us versus the very tender and vulnerable side. And I think that that would really be the words that would describe this new album, Through the Window. In my personality, I know that I have parts of myself that I want to express in a very aggressive way, and it does come out rough. There are other parts of me that whenever I want to communicate something, I do it in a very soft way. And we all have those kind of dynamics inside of us. We all have those parts to us that we want to express ourselves with. It is hard sometimes to say those things in the way we want to, because as we begin to talk about ourselves, or we talk about the situations that we find ourselves in, we're afraid to let people know very much about us. We're afraid if they know too much about us, they won't like us. And I tried in the very best way that I knew how to express some of my thoughts, maybe deeper than I ever have before, in a way that I haven't before, to just say the things that I thought were important, that I thought described the human condition. That's how God really does reach us. He reaches us through the window of human experience. In our lives, there are things that are going on that don't seem like they stack up so great with Scripture. We think, well, how can... if I'm a Christian, how can I be in this situation? If I'm a Christian, how can this be happening? How can God let this happen to me? And the truth is that real life does work that way. But what we can find out in those times is that we can find out that God really is real, and that we do have a lot of different sides to us, and God works through all of them, both the rough and the tender. Remember Me is a song, really a story about forgiveness. Long before I was a Christian, I made a lot of mistakes that I was very sorry for. And as I look back on my life, there are people that I would like to go to and say, please forgive me. I didn't mean to leave those scars on your life. And we very seldom get that opportunity to do that. This is a story about a person who goes to someone like that to ask forgiveness. It's scary, it's hard, it takes a lot of courage, and we don't often have the chance neither do we have the words that we can really reach inside ourselves and say the things that we'd really like to say to that person. All of us have things inside of us that we would like to ask forgiveness for, not only from another person, but eventually that's going to bring us around to ask forgiveness from God himself, because we haven't just hurt another person, but we've hurt God, and we've hurt our relationship with him. And so not only is that going to take us to another human being to say, I'm sorry, forgive me, but it's going to take us to God. Very much like the thief that was hanging next to Jesus on that cross when he turned to him and said, God, forgive me. And Jesus said, today you'll be with me in paradise. So it's new album time again, and it's filled with anticipation and excitement and all the things that come with releasing a new album. I guess part of that is even the worry and finishing it up and how people are going to accept it and what people think about it and how they're going to accept these new ideas that I'm talking about. And as I think about it coming out, I just want to say thank you for supporting me and for playing the songs that I have put out. The last album was certainly one of the best that I've ever had, and so many people got to hear that, and I'm grateful to you for that. So sit back for one more minute, and I'm going to give you a quick tour of this record and some of the best parts of it.
I'm so afraid for you to know, for you to know. This is me, this is me. There's some things we both have gone through. See, I am not so different from you. Long lost heaven that is left for me.
Once again, I want to say thank you for listening to this, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and a great 1987. God bless you all.